Alright, what's up, superheroes? We're killing zombies. Welcome. Not my best intro, but frankly, I think it got the job done. Felt concise and to the point. Oh, you got the door. Thank you. For those of you who don't know him personally, this is Lucky.
Oh, what's up, y'all?
He's my zombie partner. We kill zombies together for the sheer joy of it. And so today we're going to get you guys in on the fun. We were trying to think of a movie to talk about or something.
Mm-hmm.
But we haven't frankly, this is a little on the right off the cuff, so we're experimenting. Oh my god.
Well, I want to ask you guys, what movies have you guys seen? Leave a comment below what movie you guys seen recently.
Yeah.
Right now, Miles got me trying to rescue him.
I know, I was too busy talking and doing too much talking, not enough shooting.
Oh, there's no guy behind me.
Polar opposite of the video I just posted on TikTok the other day. I'm like, violence is not the answer. We're gunning down zombies and shit. Anyway, so, but, I feel like it's totally cool when it's in a video game.
So, wait, have you seen Oppenheimer?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we were talking about Barbie and Oppenheimer. You said that you'd seen Barbie, but not Oppenheimer.
Yeah, I've seen Barbie.
Frankly, so I acknowledge that Oppenheimer was very well crafted, but overall I found it a little sort of underwhelming. If anything,
underwhelming?
Like, just sort of like meh. I really like a couple of other Chris Nolan movies, like Inception and Interstellar and the Dark Knight trilogy. So, that's like, none of those are hot takes. That everyone, people tend to like those.
Is Interstellar the one with the girl from that 70s show? What Mila Kunis?
Negative.
Okay, do you remember? Oh, Jupiter Ascending. That's
Jupiter Ascending. So that was from the people who did The Matrix. Oh man, I haven't seen that one in a minute. Interstellar was with Matthew McConaughey, where there's nothing can grow on the planet anymore, and they got to figure out a thing.
And he had a wife, and technically they were like clones. Is that the one?
No, this is a different thing too. It's so fun. Okay, so we're just getting all lost in all kinds of movies here.
Sorry.
We just swerved right out of it. So to circle back around, circling. Okay, hold on. We got to do a zombie thing, and we can circle back later. I got the gate here. We're just gonna. Okay, I circled too far. Where did we even start this? Oh, because we were
having Barbie.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so Barbenheimer. Do you remember all that business on the interwebs?
Barbenheimer?
Barbenheimer? It was so Oppenheimer and Barbie were released in theaters around the same time.
Oh yes, it was.
Yeah, and so they had it was like a social thing. We were like, oh, movies are, And what's funny is that I don't know. So did you catch a lot of that or what?
I just remember kind of in a way not saying that which one people would go watch rather, but I remember people were saying that there's guys going to see Barbie, they were kind of afraid to say, yeah, we're going to go see Barbie. Guys was dressing up in pink saying oh yeah, we're going to see Barbie, but I guess that was the whole, for me, seeing at that time, people were joking about, oh, we're going to see Barbie rather than Oppenheimer.
Oh, nice. I love it. That's hilarious. So, and Oppenheimer was good, but I think that's really funny. So that's pretty much as it made it onto your radar. I think that's just choice.
Of the movie?
Yeah, it's a great idea. There was. So I think the thing that was at least my take on it from what I saw, that the big the hullabaloo about all of it was, that they were these sort of one was a movie totally geared toward women, one was, totally geared toward men. They were both made by prestigious filmmakers, both with commentary on, larger than life figures and these big, historical, what does it all mean, And so I think there was a lot, like, the hype machine really kind of like came together to a particular crescendo for all that. But then what I thought was kind of funny was, like, hearing all the online discourse about it. Do you want to get did you get the teleporter? I'll get the link pad if you got the teleporter.
It's already, yeah.
Oh, good job. All right, cool. Well, there you go. Thank you. So, I sort of followed it a little bit, but, I didn't really, whatever. And I eventually got around to seeing both of the movies. And I guess, like, now, like, if I go revisit them again, I think the thing that I really want to do is watch Oppenheimer first and then watch Barbie afterward, because I feel like, from the Ken's point of view, in Barbie, they feel like they're like the guys from Oppenheimer. And I think from other people's outside perspective of a lot of men, especially those who are in power, from an outside perspective, like, they, these men that think they're very serious do these really ridiculous things and are largely oblivious to, like, the impact of it. And so it's really funny because in real life you see these people who are very much like the way the Kens are portrayed, So it's just like, oh, that'd be a really fun double feature where, like, you're watching basically, like, Oppenheimer. They're both two movies happening simultaneously, but from the men's point of view, it's Oppenheimer, this serious, prestigious business. It's all about war and blah blah blah, And then from the women's point of view, it's like these people are buffoons and don't listen to anyone and are not, I don't know. For me, that lens seems kind of, for one, perhaps poetic and.
Well, I can't really give too much input on the guy's point of view from Ken and Oppenheimer.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah.
But I would say, like, in a way, I don't know if I would agree, because, like, in a way, Ken and Barbie was, like, in a way of a ditz. Ditz, am I using that right? Word right?
No, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So, in Oppenheimer, I feel like those were not people that was, like, slow-minded or whatever, not thinking big. So, therefore, I just see it differently. But in terms of the power scheme of men in the world, yeah, I would agree that, like, the world in Barbie, how the guys were, like, guys run the world.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, not Barbie did, I'm sorry. Didn't Barbie run the world in Barbie? Because it was Barbie?
Well, they eventually did.
But actually, hold up, pause. I'm pausing on this because
No,
I just had
yeah.
a flashback. Are you talking about the CEOs of the headquarters of Barbie? Because Barbie was run by guys, actually.
Yes. So I'm talking about the Barbie character, but yeah. So that was sort of the. That's what was so. I think that's what was so funny about it. It was such a meta thing because, like, the whole Barbie movie was talking about, like, what it really feels like to be a woman in a man's world, and the whole thing with the Kens is, like, I think what they're getting at with it is that when little boys are brought up into this environment where women are just automatically disregarded or viewed as less. In some countries, they can't, they get stoned to death for it's like really. So little boys grow up in a world seeing, like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be. Women are in the kitchen and blah blah blah, and so they. How would they know? They don't have any other frame of reference, and so that was, I think, what was so fun is, like, you say, okay, well, we see little boys experiencing this and growing up with them getting these weird kind of ideas in their head about how things should be and stuff, and it doesn't ever work out, and they get all frustrated about it. And it's because the attitude was a flawed attitude to begin with, right? This whole thing, and so I think
plus the guys aren't women, so, but, like, anyway, the guys aren't women, and they're speaking for women or doing things for women, thinking like a woman, whatever.
Oh, well,
in terms of the hierarchy that the men that were running the company.
Oh yeah, but I don't think it was as much about the company with the Barbie thing. I think it was more about the gender dynamics in our culture, and it was just sort of playing out. So they were using all this stuff is like metaphors, for instance, like the executives, the executives in Barbie reminded me a lot of the way Warner Brothers seems to have been run in recent years, and a little bit some of the other big studios. But like Warner Brothers hires this guy who's like, he's just one of these executives, just like you just think of it in your mind, and it's like a older white guy, glasses and his sport coat. And it's like it's a guy. It's a particular type. And Will Ferrell, plays that guy like it's one of those guys, right? So in real life, this dude is a lot like that, and they just are sort of oblivious to the important things or what makes their company valuable, or why people like the thing. For Warner Brothers, like this guy is just like my job is to go in and make number go up. And I don't care about anything else because that's my job. Do number go up, and it's this, and then you see artists and fans and everybody's like, please stop doing this. We don't like it. No, we don't consent to this. And they're just like, nope, number goes up. We're just gonna drive it into the ditch, And so I think to get to play that out on screen and sort of make fun of those kind of men on screen is what they were shooting for with the thing. So I think the whole Barbie thing was like, this is what women's experience is of men. Like as men, a lot of times our part of our culture is that we are shielded from the impact of our actions. We get excuses made for us. There's that one kid, that Brock Turner, there was a sexual assault thing that he did, and the judge who makes this call to be like, oh, we don't want to hurt his future, so we're not going to do, the full jail time thing or whatever. Mm-hmm. And frankly, jailing people for stuff like that isn't really functional in the first place because punishment is not the same as accountability. But the point is that the dude just got a pass, kind of. Donald Trump is convicted of felonies, and he's still getting to run for president and do weird shit, right? And then at the same time, George Floyd gets pulled over and doesn't even survive the day over a tiny little stupid thing, right? So clearly something is way out of whack here. And a lot of times men, especially white men, just for a number of reasons, don't get that input. Like we're like I said, shielded from the consequences of the actions. And so when you don't have consequences for your actions, it's hard to take accountability. It's hard to see when you're hurting other people because you don't know. You're not paying attention. And so I think that for a lot, it's, at least from what I saw, a lot of men felt a little salty about some of the stuff, about being portrayed a certain way in the Barbie movie. And it's like, well, that's the thing, is that what life and being out in the world feels like to us as men is very different than what other people experience, right? Like me, like me walking around in America being white is a very different experience than you being black, right? And so, similarly, being a man is, presenting as or identifying as a man, sort of, I think, has a similar effect for women. And so I think that at least my read on it was that with the Barbie thing, they were mostly just like, hey, if you've never been in our society before, this is what it feels like to be a woman here. You have these awful experiences with these executives who you think are supposed to help you grow your business, only to find out that they're kind of dumb and short-sighted and they just want to put you back in a box. Oh, you're finally made it to the real world and you're getting to see real people for the first time and you're excited and it's a beach, and now all of a sudden there's these men that are like leering at you and it's kind of like a little threatening, And Ken doesn't experience that, so he's sort of oblivious to it. And so that moment, I think, was like an encapsulation of what it's like to experience this world as a man and what it's like as a woman, and they're not the same experience. And that, that could be a little bit of eye-opener. That's why sometimes people have a hard time dealing with, like, race stuff. It's the same thing. It's like, what do you mean to tell me this whole time we've been living in a different country, we're right next door to each other? And it's like, yeah, a little bit, but how could it be that big and that big of a problem? And then it's like, oh, yeah, no, it really, yep, turns out, because it was planted long time ago. And so, I was like, oh, they did a clever thing. And I think, to your point, I think the remarks about Ken being a little, like, dumbed down, I think is something I noticed as well, and I think something that has been like a legitimate sort of like critique of the storytelling of the film. It's like, all right, well, you could have done something maybe a little more nuanced there, right? With Ryan Gosling's character and stuff. You know, they did some stuff and they get deep with it, and it's like, hey man, I'm Kenough, which is cute and fun, right? I like that. But yeah, it was a little one dimensional, and I think you're right. I think
Well, I mean, I think I said earlier, and when we were talking off the record, I said like it goes for both parties. Like it opens up the eyes or the viewer's eyes for both parties because Ken had a realization as like I'm Ken. Like other Kens were like, I'm Ken. So there's a point of like, I guess seeing your individual self. Like I'm a different man from your.
Yes,
man.
we can both be men, but I'm not just a man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also something more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And same thing with the woman too. Like when she met the crazy Barbie.
Yes.
So like, yeah, the crazy Barbie helped her understand that it's like, oh, this is. I forgot exactly. Like, basically, she had to help her like understand. She had to go to the real world or something like that.
Yes. Yeah. Basically, you got to get real. You got to get out of your dream world and go check, see, get in touch with what actually is.
Yeah.
The splits.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part. Like you walk in, and she just, what's up?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
But no, I was just pausing because
yeah.
I had that one thought that like. I guess I had to get it out and then pause it, but we can get back to the.
Oh yeah, let me hop on. Yeah.
Well, this is all we were killing zombies at the same time of talking movies. My bad for the pause, guys.
That's right. Sometimes you gotta pause.